What's up, friends? I want to share with you 3 lessons that I've learned from working with very successful entrepreneurs over the years of helping them evaluate and buy businesses for sale. And these 3 lessons I've basically figured out because I've observed the unconscious behavior a lot of these wealthy individuals have. And the reason why I think it's unconscious is because I've never heard them say it basically the way that I'm going to, and I've never heard anyone else really articulate it in the way that I'm going to. So I think this is going to be a little bit different than your typical sort of video. So the first thing that I've learned is that the way wealthy people view loss is different than a normal person. So a normal person, they got $1 million in their bank account and they lose it. They feel a ton of pain from that. And so a wealthy person that has $1 million in their bank account and they know they could have gotten to 2 million, they feel the exact same amount of pain, of loss, as a normal person. So a wealthy person sees the loss of their potential just as painful as a normal person that sees the loss of something they already possess. And it also starts to explain why some of these people, have their friends and family say, hey, how much is enough? When's enough enough? When are you going to just stop and slow down? Well, they feel that pain of the loss of potential, just like someone else. And so like if you took a normal person, you just took $50,000 out of their bank account every single month, and the person's like freaking out. It's like, hey, when's enough enough? When are you going to enjoy just losing all that money? The normal person is afraid of losing to zero. A wealthy person is afraid of losing to their maximum potential. And that leads me to the second lesson I've learned. Second thing is that the way wealthy people think about time is different. So everyone has heard the thing like wealthy people buy time. Yes, I've heard that, but not in the way I'm about to explain it here. So the way I used to think about wealthy people buying time is that they would hire a house cleaner, hire a chef, a chauffeur to drive them around. And so it allowed them to take all the money that they have been earning from working and be able to enjoy it, work hard, play hard kind of thing. That's not accurate. The way that these guys think about their time and buying their time back is so they can work more, not less, more. And so what they will do is this sort of unconscious but systematic way of thinking about their time. So let's say, for example, there are 2 lawyers looking at a purchase agreement for this person. One lawyer costs $5,000, the other $1,000. The $1,000 lawyer is going to take 2 weeks to look at a purchase agreement. The $5,000 lawyer is going to take 1 week. Now, it's not that wealthy people are just buying their time and doing things as fast as possible. Again, they're thinking about it systematically. So for example, let's say there's a business and it nets $10,000 in a week. If that wealthy individual looks at those 2 lawyers and he says, well, this lawyer's 5 times more, he costs $5,000, but he gets it done a week faster, I'm still netting $5,000 more in my life versus using this other person. So a typical person looks at the 2 lawyers and says, I'm not paying 5x for that lawyer than this other one. We'll just wait a week. It'll be fine. Let's save our money. Wealthy people save their potential. Typical people save their money. Third lesson that I've learned from observing these people is that they spend an inordinate amount of time on their research, but not in the way that a typical person does. So typical person that wants to save on their taxes will research everything they possibly can in every single forum and every single website about the tax code. A wealthy person is looking for ways to save their time, to maximize their potential. So therefore, they look for individuals. They're going to look for the best CPA that can speed up their time. And this hit me one time when I was working with a guy a long time ago. And he asked me a question about a FedEx route. I give him the answer and I say, hey, you can just verify this at this site and this site and this site, check over here. It's all accurate. And he's like, no, I'm not checking any of that stuff. He's like, I spent a huge amount of time trying to figure out who I wanted to listen to. And now you're the person that I picked, and now I'm just going to listen to you. So a lot of wealthy people spend their time on trying to figure out the source of their information, where to go about it, as opposed to trying to learn everything that they possibly can. They surround themselves with people that speed things up. When they speed things up, it maximizes their potential. So all 3 of these lessons are related. And so that being said, if you're on the sidelines about starting your own business or buying a business or anything for that matter, maybe one of these 3 lessons will resonate with you, because there's a YouTube channel that I used to watch. It's Invest for More. And this guy buys laundromats and car washes and fix and flips for houses and all sorts of stuff. And just out of the blue, a couple weeks ago, that guy died. And it made me realize, like, man, our time is so limited. And here are all these lessons that I've learned from these people maybe I should just sit down, record these 3 lessons, and hopefully one of them will resonate with you to get you to think about your potential as opposed to where 0 is, and maybe get you to think just a little bit differently in the way that these lessons have helped me. So anyway, hopefully this helps. Take care. Talk soon, and bye-bye.